Have you ever had to let go of something you deeply loved? Have you ever felt God asking for something that seemed impossible to surrender? Maybe a relationship, a dream, a life plan. What if I told you that it's precisely in that moment of pain, of surrender, that the miracle begins to take shape? Stay with me until the end of this video, because today, God wants to speak to you about faith, trust, and provision. Psalm 37 verse 5 says, "Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act." But what does it really mean, in practice, to surrender completely? Let's look at the story of Abraham in Genesis 22, when God asks him to sacrifice his son Isaac. Yes, the son of the promise. The miracle he had waited for 100 years. This story is not just about a father and a son. It's about what God wants to do in our lives when everything seems out of control, but it's not, because the Lord reigns over all. Imagine waiting 100 years for something God promised. We can almost picture the joy of that old father seeing his long-awaited dream come true. That's what happened with Abraham. God said, "Take your son, your only son, whom you love, and offer him as a sacrifice." That command was like an arrow to his heart. It bled and experienced the deepest pain, surrender. But it teaches us something. True faith is not measured by what we receive, but by what we are willing to give back to God. Abraham could have asked, "Lord, why give me a son only to take him away?" But he didn't question. He obeyed. And here lies a powerful principle. Faith is not trusting only when everything makes sense. Faith is trusting even when nothing seems to make sense. Proverbs 3 verse 5 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." True surrender begins where logic ends. As he walked with Isaac, the boy asked, "Father, where is the lamb for the sacrifice?" And Abraham responded with one of the most powerful declarations in the Bible. God will provide. He didn't know how or when, but he knew who. That is the kind of trust we must place in the Lord. When you look at your situation and say, "I don't see a way out, but I know God will provide," that is faith. Faith that pleases God. Abraham tied up his son, prepared to sacrifice Isaac. And at the exact moment he was about to do it, God stopped him. An angel cried out, "Do not lay a hand on the boy." And there, caught by its horns, was the lamb. Abraham was not disappointed. He was tested and approved by God. It happened just as he had declared. God doesn't want to take away what you love. He wants to know if your heart belongs to Him. Abraham and Isaac returned home together, alive, transformed. God not only spared the son, He sealed the promise. And that's what He wants to do with you. Maybe today you're standing on your own Mount Moriah. Maybe God is asking for something you don't want to let go of. But listen, when you surrender, trust, and obey, you find rest in God. And the Lord will take care of you and your household, because He knows you and is aware of all your needs. Not in your way, not in your time, but in God's perfect time. True surrender hurts. It requires faith, courage, and surrender. But it's in that place of obedience that the miracle comes. God doesn't want to punish you. He wants to transform you. And when you commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, He will act. If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who also needs to trust in God today. And subscribe to this channel to keep receiving words that strengthen your faith.